This is becoming a real phenomenon. Youngsters from Poland who are returning to their Jewish origins after their parents and grandparents abandoned Judaism or hid from it out of fear of the Nazi regime or the communist rule which followed it.
When did you find out you're a Jew?
When I was about 10 years old. It was kind of really typical story. When my grandfather was his deathbed, he just told my mother about his family and family of his wife. They were Jewish before the war, and during the war they just lost it trying to save their lives, escaping from Lviv.
A special seminar, the sixth one so far for young Polish people from all around Poland who are in a process of seeking their Jewish identity, took place in Jerusalem, initiated by Shavei Israel. The group went for tours around Israel, which included an emotional visit to the Western Wall.
Sometimes that spark can be buried for a generation or two or for centuries, but at some point something kindles that spark and it begins to burn almost like a flame of burning passion for everything that is Jewish and Israel.
Each one of the participants in the seminar has his own special story about the way he found out about his Jewish roots and the way he copes with the difficulties which follow the return to Judaism.
I have learned through genetic testing actually, and I did genetic testing at two independent companies because I couldn't believe the results. I found out that I have a lot of Jewish cousins. Then I have found out that one of my cousins is actually head of Whitehead Institute at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and he's doing research in genetic diseases. So he helped me to find the thread to a shtetl in Poland. Then I found out some genealogical records, and this is how I get to know my past.
When did you decide to do with it something?
After my first visit to Israel, on the Shavei Israel seminary last year.
I just began to study it more and more, and I got in contact with my relatives. I have some distant relatives in Israel as well, and slowly I got interested in it, and I have at some point decided to convert and become a Jew.
The Shavei Israel organization runs seminars and lessons throughout the whole year, for young as well as old, seeking to return to Judaism, and supports the ones who request going through a conversion process.
We all make our own decisions about how we want to live our lives. It's not for us to tell you what you have to do or should do. That is something that has to come from inside of you.
Yes, I felt some kind of fulfilling inside of my soul that I'm doing something good for me, for my family, that it is right thing to do.